welcome to this podcast it's titled Dogs, Data Design, and Literacy. With me, I have to the right, Christina Georgia. Did I say your last name? Gorga. Okay, Christina Gorga. I have Richard Kohler and Noelle Butler. So, hello, everyone.
Hello.
Today, we're going to have some fun things planned. I have a brief, data quizzes. We're going to talk about some fun topics, data design. I will have a game, Fetch or Fumble, about chart types. And we'll have some conversation around data design and data literacy. So with that, I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves. Christina, if you'd like to go first.
Sure. Hello, everybody. I'm Christina Gorga. I am a longtime Tableau user. I've been using Tableau since it was numbered version since 2016. So the first ever version of Tableau I ever opened up was 8.2, which is crazy because that's pre-LODs. And so I've seen the product kind of come and go. And then the funny story is, after a number of years of being a practitioner, I came over to the mothership of Salesforce and Tableau just a little over a month ago. And I work in what they call customer success. So if anybody is interested in what that transition is like, moving from being a data viz practitioner to working customer success on how people are implementing Tableau at scale, talk to me, connect with me.
Awesome. Thanks for that. Richard, you're up. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. And Dawn, thanks for having me here with these wonderful people. I appreciate it. Wow, I don't even know how long I've been using Tableau. I think it's 2010 or 2011. I don't remember the version. Got to use it at a large chemical company that I used to work for, and just really love the visualization aspect and all that stuff. And then I would say Tableau got me my current job that I've been in for 8 years at a large US bank. I'll say it that way. But I would even just say just using Tableau and all the data with that. I've always been a data person because I'm a chemical engineer. So I've gotten here via a twisty route. But it just helps us to visualize and use the data and answer good questions and make cool stuff is what I really like to do with it. So that's where I am doing my work. Thanks, Dawn.
And Richard has his dog behind him in
my dog.
This
is mine, dog. We'll probably get into that as we go along a little bit further. So
this is fine.
All right.
Everything is fine.
This is fine. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but it's the meme where you see the dog in the room with the flames. It's a joke that we have back and forth. Noelle, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
I was going to show the pin, but I don't think I can take it off in time. That also goes with the dog dumpster fire that I gave out to all you guys.
Yep.
The dumpster fire response team.
I love it.
Yeah. So
cookies as well.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Noelle Butler. I love trinkets. No, I was introduced to Tableau, I think similar to both of you, 2014, early 2010s. And then I same thing with Richard. I feel like that's what got me my role at the current US big bank that we're at. Prior to that, I was in home healthcare for about 13 or 14 years and had a data journey there. Now leading a team on both the data warehouse side and the reporting consumption side. So I'm seeing the entire ecosystem of it. I'm also wearing, it is my official sleep shirt, but the reason I'm wearing it is because it's cartoon versions of my dogs. It's not what's funny is I really don't have a corgi, but it's the closest looking dog. And then my other dog's a German, they didn't have the right one. So, I felt like that was appropriate. My husband got this for me. It's dog related. So, and then, what was I going to say? Love talking about data, leadership, teams, just being in the workforce. You'll see a lot of that stuff on LinkedIn. So if anyone's ever, and of course, AI, so interested in AI. So if anyone's ever interested in chatting about those things, please engage with me.
And dogs. Noelle likes to talk about dogs.
Obviously.
Okay.
They're not here right now. Normally they would bust in, but they're they're going on a trip to the vet to get some vaccines. So
Oh,
make an appearance today.
Awesome. Dawn Harrington, techtipsgirl.com, as shown overhead. I also work at bank. Been at bank for quite some years. Love Tableau, love Alteryx. Oh, dare I say it? And I haven't been in Tableau as long as you all. I think it was 2018 for me. So love the tool. Have other visualization background as well with Click, Business Objects, Cognos, all the things.
Aw. Hi there, Pepper.
She's trying to get my Lucky Charms. Sorry, I had to show her off. She's the corgi looking one.
Aw, I love yours.
Sorry, Dawn.
No, that's it.
They're all good dogs. That's what we
All
said.
good dogs. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the quiz. If I can share my screen, share screen. All right. Window, entire screen. Here we go. All right. So is it going to? So if you all could go to Slido.com on your phones. Anybody watching? Slido.com on your phones. And type in 333-8648. We're going to have a little quiz. It forced me to put answers in, just a caveat for some of it, but we can discuss if they are correct answers or not.
Still here. Still trying to get food.
Dogs data design. I'm in it.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Is it letting me do it? Okay. All right. If your dog could build a dashboard, what KPIs would it track? And Richard, you can just make this up for the dog.
Oh no, I have a dog that lives across the street with my neighbors.
Okay.
And that's the perfect distance for me and the dog. And we get to That's a good dog. That dog's Bowie. It's a good dog.
I have a dachshund mix. So
Oh.
yeah.
Number
Toys.
of
That's
toys.
important.
No. Fox defended against. Nice. Is that also you, Noelle? Or
Oh no,
Yeah.
that's me.
Oh.
We have many foxes.
Oh, balls thrown per
neighborhood.
minute.
Oh, we
Okay.
don't let them get us. I like balls thrown per minute. That's also nice.
That's from
That's a-
Fern. She asked me to add it for her.
that
Foxes
is-
defended against is a good one too.
There is also the next question. What kind of dog are you? And let me see if I can
Oh.
zoom out. Can I zoom out to the screen size here so we can see more options? Okay, here's the
Ooh.
options.
Oh,
Which dog are you as a data professional? Are you a golden retriever that you love helping everyone understand data? Are you a border collie that is always optimizing dashboards? Are you a beagle, curious and always digging into the data? Are you a German shepherd focused on governance and quality? Are you a gray? And you can pick more than one option. It's fine. Are you a greyhound where you want everything fast? Are you a bulldog that doesn't like change but gets the job done? Or are you a husky that loves shiny new tools even when they're unnecessary? And then there's also a mixed breed. Oh, it dropped the mixed breed. That was like anything works, but it looks like I ran out of space. So
Yeah,
What?
fair.
no, it's up at the top.
So I wanted, you needed like a terrier that grabs onto the data and doesn't let go until it gets the answer. which
Wait,
is-
that's great.
Good idea. Mixed breed, whatever works. Okay, it is on
Yeah.
there. Okay. So it's funny. I posted this in Slack, and people were coming up with combinations. They're like, "Oh, I'm a golden retriever bulldog." So some very interesting mixes in the Slack conversation. And then one person, of course, was like, "I'm a cat," and I was like, "I appreciate that answer.
I'm a cat.
That's not allowed today.
I'm a cat."
What-
There's
a cat
always
would be-
one.
mildly disinterested in the data, but then suddenly brings you a nice nugget in the middle of the night that you don't realize is there.
I feel
right?
like that would be like a Shiba Inu, though. Like Shiba
Yeah.
Inus are like the most cat-like dogs. Like, I don't know.
My second dog is very cat-like. Like, and we constantly talk about it.
In these big
So-
data days, I would say you need like, what are the big dogs? Like a, what's the big dogs? The
A
tallest-
Newfie.
Mastiff,
A Newfie or a Bull
Yeah.
Mastiff.
Yeah, one
Yeah.
of those for big data.
Beethoven, Saint Bernard.
St. Bernard brings you, your program is failing, but they bring you a little barrel of the data at the end in order to save you. That's the St. Bernard data version.
I would say I like the Golden Retriever. I love helping everyone understand data. And then I'm kind of a German Shepherd sometimes, focused on data governance. I think it's probably my HR background. Noelle and I talked about this before. Once you go HR, it's always there.
I like it.
Controls.
Focused on governance and quality. Woof, woof,
Yep.
woof. Got to get it right.
Yep.
Y'all are
Yep.
lame. No, I'm just kidding. I'm a mixed breed and border collie for sure. I love to optimize, process improve, make things more efficient. That's like my bread and butter.
And Christina, which ones did you pick?
A little bit of a mix of both the mixed breed, just like my dog, who is a Min Pin Chiweenie hybrid mix. I work with a lot of different customers, not one size fits all. You got to kind of come with a combo of options for folks. And then also at heart, I'm probably a big Golden Retriever personality. I think it kind of comes with the territory of being very much like a trainer mindset. You got to kind of come in with figuring out how do you want to get people to understand data. I think that having that high, like positive Golden Retriever energy brings people to the table.
Yeah, especially when you're dealing with training and data. Like I say training classes, you have to keep it fun. It's like such a hard topic, so you have to keep it fun. Richard, what did you select?
I did a mixed breed, but as I said earlier, I was hoping for the terrier that grabs onto that data and doesn't let go until I get an answer. So, honestly, whether I want to or not, I've been focused on governance and quality because that's some of my role that I have to worry about.
Yep. Totally understand that one. Okay. So the last one we have is data design, fetch or fumble.
Oh,
Okay. Fetch or fumble, 3D pie chart.
ooh.
Is this a fetch or a fumble chart?
Are we just voting?
Are we voting? And then
Yes.
okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh.
We all agree, so we're just not going to be trashing.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
This
Yeah.
crew is absolutely team fumble.
Well, were I a dog, I might like a 3D pie chart because pie is
right.
the title, and we just saw Noelle's dog even wants to eat her cereal. So I would imagine they also like pies, depending on the situation.
They love anything they can get their hands on.
Right?
Right. So 3D pie charts are a fumble and good dog toys if you have a 3D pie chart as a dog toy. So
Yes.
fumble. 18 KPI cards in a dashboard. Is this a fetch or a fumble, or is it depends?
It depends, man.
I would say how big are the KPIs?
Yeah, like I don't know. I feel like these days I've been into Tableau Next a lot, and I feel like just the interface for it is just like you can just do all the KPI cards you want, and I'm like, does that always work all the time? I don't know.
I guess
Nobody's
it depends
gonna
what
wanna-
business you're in and how many metrics you have to track. But yeah.
When in doubt,
Right,
have
that is-
parameters. I mean, like little swap outs. So that if you have like a thing of like 5 or 6 KPI cards at the top, have like little metric swappers so you don't have as many. I don't know. It really depends.
Yeah. To me, it
It is-
almost seems like an example of what you're using when you're trying to track like the status of things. You know what I mean? Like a high level, are things moving in the right direction, or am I tracking like data that failed. Like it's some type of work purpose, not necessarily like an insight. Like that's what I think of when you have multiple KPIs. It's more of like action rather than true insights and analytics.
There's still a human reading it, which is why 18 is too many for a poor human. Look at maybe 5 to 7. But we don't talk about small multiples enough in data visualization anymore, or we used to, where if you can engage like Noelle might be saying, one of the KPIs is off and you've done good data visualization, so you can just immediately see that one and then flip in like Christina said, then it's pretty wild. I just haven't seen it done well. I would even offer, if I was allowed to as a business professional, to say maybe 18 KPIs is a little too much to understand if your strategy is working or not. What are the top 3 that you really need? But we're just data visualization people. We're not allowed to talk about business, I don't think.
Not at all.
I put it depends because it forced me to put an answer. So, all right. Interactive tooltips. Are they a fetch or are they a fumble, or is it depends?
Oh man, I feel like the most like analytics person ever to say like it depends for nearly everything across the board.
Yeah.
Good consulting talk, Christina. I believe you. I would hire a consultant.
It depends. Is it a fetch? Is it a fumble?
I feel like these days I haven't seen a lot of like truly interactive tooltips, like unless it's like something that you click into, because usually the way I've seen interactive tooltips working really well is if they have like a URL or something attached to it and it takes you somewhere else. That's usually where it works well for me. But like if you had like additional things that you had to like fumble through and stuff on a tooltip, that's probably way too much.
Yeah, I agree. Like what about on a map too? Like I feel like it's kind of like, oh, it's like too much.
It gets to be a lot. It really, I feel like I used to see a lot more of that, Dawn, in public health instances. And Noelle, you were saying that you did a lot of like home health work. People are really map like obsessed in the public health world. And I feel like I saw a lot of Vision tooltips in map use cases, and sometimes it can go really well. And then the other problem too is that you have to think about performance too with Vision tooltips, and you're adding that on top of a map layer. Like, ooh, I don't know, it can go very wonky very, very quickly.
That's a good point.
We end up typically, the problem is you want to then it shows the tooltip, and then I just want to see that. I just want to see that data and go deeper. Some of the explosion of Viz tools that's available out in the industry have kind of drill down tools and other things. And I think maybe that's the best way to have an interactive tooltip. The visualization starts the conversation, doesn't end the conversation, but I definitely want to keep going deeper.
Yeah.
Once again, it forced me to put an answer, so I selected fetch.
Yeah.
Answer.
We don't work for the computers. They work for us, I think, for the next few months.
All right, gauges. This is something that I'm always asked. How do you create a gauge in Tableau? It's native in some other data visualization tools. Is the juice worth the squeeze with a gauge? Is it a fetch, a fumble, or is it depends?
Do you want us to think about it while you're describing it? Because I had clicked immediately when you put the. I'll be more thoughtful.
So I think it depends on the style of the radar chart, because I don't typically like it in the like the half hemisphere style. I actually like it more on like a line, and then picking like a set section and like highlighting that for like where there are problems. Like, I don't know. I feel like it could go any way, but I typically like seeing it more on like almost like a straight line. Maybe you're using it with like a stacked bar instead, and then just highlighting the particular section like under like a KPI, like where things are going right or wrong.
Yeah, I like that too. I put fetch, but it didn't let, personally, I put fetch because it didn't let me. I went to go submit, but you're quick, Dawn. So I I like gauges. I also think of the built-in functionality for, like when you were saying that, Christina, like the built-in functionality for, we used to use like reference lines a lot, the underlying budget, like versus actual, or any type of measure where you're doing like a percentage of a whole or trying to gauge like a value and where you are. Like that's what I think of too. Not, I do like the gauge. I think it's fun when you want to do something that's like pretty on a dashboard and be like, look what I can do. But I think the more functional version of that is usually some type of, like you said, stack bar or bar chart
progress
with
chart.
a reference line. And if it goes over that line, you change the color and you can like know, kind of work with those types of formatting things instead.
Yeah, and you can be clever with formatting that too. Like I like to embed those sometimes, like at the very bottom of like a KPI sort of build, make its own worksheet, and then hide any of the labels, and then just have the labels be available via like float over, and that's really kind of nice because it's still giving that sort of radar look, but without it like being like front and center, which I feel like is sometimes a design choice by people. Like I've seen plenty of radars in both Power BI and Tableau. And I think a lot of it is also a color choice thing too, is if you're doing a lot of like red, yellow, green, it can look very garish. But then if you're using, actually, even in the example that Dawn is showing up here on the screen, like a orange to blue color scheme might be a little bit easier to read. So, and not nearly as like, whoa, okay, people are definitely using stoplights for your radar chart. So color kind of comes into the decision making on how you want to implement it too.
Yeah.
Richard, do you have an opinion?
I agree with everybody except that I would just make the bar chart. So I love the gauge charts. Just tighten them, just unbend it. Perfect. So I was thinking of what St. Stephen Few would say, and he would say, just make a bar chart. So if we go back to the
man, Stephen Few, he has so many enemies in DataViz. Like I feel like he pulls people either one way or another. I feel like I could have like a whole like side combo about like Stephen Few and like how the world of DataViz like views Stephen Few.
Christina, I'm just being controversial for the clicks.
I love it. I love it. I live for it.
Just to cause problems.
I live for it.
You like the color, your color points are absolutely right in that if you use, I love the orange to blue design to do that. But I think Nicole's made a few bar charts instead of gauges at some point as well. So, I mean, Noelle.
Nicole, how dare you?
Yeah,
We've known each other for a long time.
I know. I got flustered by the Stephen Few comment.
So gauges, I always throw this in here because I'm always asked. I spent all this time in my early Tableau career trying to create the needle for like a gauge chart, and it slowed the whole workbook down.
No.
So yeah, but the Floor Lash twins, I think, have a hack that makes it much easier to create. So once again, I was forced to put
design, right, Dawn? Speed to solution. Yep. Make a bar chart like that. I guess if you have the gauge chart set up already, you can make it like that. But a lot of times we're trying to make stuff as quickly as possible.
Yeah, it's the KISS method for me. If it's the juice isn't worth the squeeze, man. Like, I can't take it.
Yep. How much time are you going to spend trying to figure it out? Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So this one I'll be slower. Red green color scale. Christy, you were just talking about this. Is it a fetch or a fumble, or does it depend? So
immediate fumble.
So gauges and red green color scale. I get a lot of people that ask me this that are doing like project management. I also decided to pick an image here for trades, like candlestick chart. Very, very common use cases. Should they be using the red green color scale? Did you guys vote? It looks like a fumble. It depends. Wow. So what I would say is that it depends because there is colorblind approved red, amber, green. So I wouldn't say use like the straight traffic light color. Like you can use red, amber, green color scales, but there's hex codes and there's lots of articles out there on how to use like the appropriate one. So my blog, techtipsgirl.com, if you just, search it, I put those HTML codes out there for you if you want to use it. But I'm going to let you guys discuss this. So, Christina, why did you think it was the immediate fumble?
Oh, it's because I've seen it way too much in the business world. But I will say, have any of you actually been in a Steve Wexler course before? I'll ask that question first. No? Okay. So one of the things, this is years ago, I sat in Steve Wexler's course. He's like, well, what is one way to be sneaky and get people away from using red and green? And he's like, you can subtly change the hex codes over time to be more color accessible. So he tweaks the hex codes ever so slightly over time with some of his customers to get them used to using like more color accessible color schemes. So you can do the sneaky like Steve Wexler way, or you can just go on to something like Color Brewer or another like contrast ratio. Like I use like WebAIM a lot of times to do like something similar to what Dawn's done and like find like color reds, like more of a darker like brick red. Or you can also use things that are more like softer color schemes. Like I've seen things that are more like pastels with like a border around it that are like more of a pink or like a rose color that tend to be a little bit easier to read. So you can do a lot of different ways to get around it. But generally speaking, I don't go with the Fire Engine red and green just on basis of like color blindness.
What do you think, Noelle?
Yeah, I think it depends because there's times when you truly want to use red or green. I know red equals bad, green equals good, whatever. But I don't know. I feel like there are use cases for it. We didn't actually do this. I did a lot of budget versus actual. We tried to use like our brand colors and then only use red for truly like metrics that were truly bad if they went there, so that we knew that was something alerting. And then we did have I know everyone hates this too, RAG dashboard where we had to use red, amber, green. So there were a lot of those as well related to key metrics for people being scored on something and based off of like a percentage of 6 metrics, and they did red, amber, and green, I remember. So I think it just depends, but
it's always so hard with corporate color schemes if you have red anywhere in it. It's why I love to look at style guides from marketing teams to say like, hey, is there anything that I can use like very, very little of? And if red, I don't have to use much of the red, I'm like, omit, and then I use any other secondary colors that I can.
My last company, our brand color, the main color was red, like the color. So, and it was like red, grays, and blacks, but they had like secondary and tertiary palettes, so we use those a lot of the time for that reason.
There you go. Yeah, that is always really hard. It's like when you have a marketing team that's really careful with color schemes, I'm like, thank you for not inserting red everywhere. So I'm usually thankful to a lot of marketing teams that are very savvy about, making accessible color combos. I like to implement those and make sure that they're all, web safe.
Richard?
I blame society. So the reason I really do, it depends, is because I would love to choose a different color scheme and make it look nicer. And then every time I've done that, I've gotten to go back and return it. Noelle hadn't joined the team back in the color war days that I had when I had first started at the bank. And it was, they had chosen RAG and they had very specific opinions about that. So sometimes it's your audience. And I'm sensitive to the fact that some people can see it well and some can't, and somehow to have other indicators of what's happening there, literally have the letters on there or whatever. But, sometimes you just have to go with the client where the internal client has asked for it. Society has decided green means go and red means stop. So I don't think we're going to change that anytime soon.
And I just pulled up the article. Sarah Bartlett, Adam Miko, they've and Kat Greenbook have all talked about this subject. So I just threw in this article having like the hex codes or the HTML codes for you, and just a little bit of how to create your own alternative rag, color palette in Tableau. So it looks like this in a dashboard, and this is much more friendly.
Oh yeah.
So check out that article.
That's a nice teal. That's a nice teal green. Yeah. I like that.
Is it a jewel tone, Noelle? Because we have a tendency to like jewel tones. Is that teal a jewel tone?
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Dawn, that's the tile that I have in my bathroom that
I think so.
The remodel. So I love that color. It's just I don't have a choice to put it into a dashboard. I'm not allowed to choose the tiles for my dashboard. How about like does that look good in a when you go to the sites that help you see how people with the different types of color blindness can see it? Do those help, Dawn? There's differences there that they can see it, or Christina, whoever's an expert on this. Does it help?
I haven't checked. Like I said, I just put it in from this article about 5 ways of visualizing data. So great blog.
I would assume that those are pretty colorblind accessible. I feel like I've actually had to mitigate a lot of this in the past because I had to do some crazy bivariate maps where you're mapping across like 2 different like color scale schemes, and I've had to tread that very carefully because there's usually only a certain combination of 2 different color scales that are colorblind accessible. So Color Brewer has there's a couple of other mapping visuals that go by that, but I would say that those colors, from just like looking at them, they seem pretty solid from that front.
Awesome. Okay, next question. Dual axis charts, are they a fetch or a fumble, or it depends?
So, oh man.
I love a dual axis chart. Well, I mean, I had to use a dual axis chart to do a lot of things back in the day in Tableau before like things were easier. But I do also think,
it's what you do with the tool. You can make it. You can make it awful, or you can make it good. Mm-hmm. That's the question.
Yeah, I feel like, and I'm saying this from the dual axis chart as in like the dual axis feature in Tableau. It's like it's almost a necessity to hack out a lot of the stuff that we want to build, right? But like if you're doing like 2 things on like 2 very different scales, and you're not having enough user text or annotations to help people understand what are these 2 different components actually meaning, then you're going to lose the story. You're going to lose your user. So I would say like, as long as you have enough annotation, and if it's something that's not fully like, it's sort of baked in and it's not truly a dual axis, then you're probably okay. But yeah, I would say the more user guidance that you can build in a dual axis chart, the better. I've seen it go bad really fast.
It depends on something you're trying to answer too, right? Is I can't, unless I'm going to plot the 2 variables against each other, which can sometimes work. I want to show, I don't know, let's use, what would I use? Consumer confidence and oil prices. I'm going to plot those on the same plot, but oil prices are going to be dollars and consumer confidence is going to be the CPI. It's going to be an index. How else can I show things go up or down together with that? But be good about it and make sure they don't overlap so you don't understand which one is pointing to what, because unfortunately those numbers are about the same number right now. But or you could do it really poorly. Dawn, this one you have on the screen here is a bar and a line. That should presumably help people tell the difference, but who knows?
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like I've done this a lot with bars and lines, and I think of examples like where one measure, if the trend is going up, is always good. I mean, it's always positive, but doesn't necessarily mean that it's good. For example, like your revenue may go up, but your profit margin may go down. And the profit margin is really what matters to your bottom line. So like things like that I've seen too, where it's trying to share like, yeah, that's fine, our revenue went up, but guess what? We're not making any more money.
Yeah.
So like to kind of debunk that, give some like false promise that.
Well, I'll make it up in volume. I'm making it up in volume.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Sure.
I'm selling more. I'm sure that'll be fine.
Yeah.
I put fetch because, of course, it forced me to make a decision. But yes, definitely conversation for dual axis charts. And the last one, Fetcher from Bull Design, data tables. I had to throw it in there. I had to.
Ugh.
I love how you have the illusion, Dawn, that those of us that are data visualization experts working for other people have any choice in the matter. I think that's really good.
I feel like we don't have a choice, so I guess it's fetch.
Yeah. Let me
Yeah.
manage by influence, right, Christina? Until my influence is all gone. I like the Wechsler. Oh, let's subtly move people. I don't know how you transform a data table into a graph subtly.
I think you can make better tables. I
Yeah.
think I've I don't know if any of you are big Ryan Sleeper fans. And the stuff that Playfair does, but I've seen so many really cool ways of like just integrating like those custom columns, and you can integrate like little images and stuff, and using the good old placeholder, the min method, to make your tables a little bit better. I think that there's a lot of different ways that you can slice and dice it, but I use good old like semi-transparent little pill images in a lot of my shapes for custom color charts, and it looks so nice, and I'm like, wow, this actually looks way better than tables that I did like 5 years ago or so. But you have to be really careful about it too. It's like I don't want to just like throw in a bunch of like little like shapes into each and every different column, using it creatively if you wanted to, but I don't know. See, my thing is at scale for some of those like more like creative table charts. I don't know how those like scale out at an enterprise level. I've done some of that, but it gets kind of nitpicky because I find myself like pixel moving a lot of stuff, especially when you have to do like the special like you have to throw in a like another worksheet above it, or like text labels above it in order for it to work really well. So if you have like a lot of moving pieces and your dashboards, it sometimes may or may not work well. But if you're doing it as like a single view and you're having people tap into it, I think it works really well. So I would say like most of the time, I still keep data tables. Oftentimes is like my final drill down view for folks. It's like ultimately, because guess what? We live and eat and breathe by that stupid export to Excel button. And I swear I will never let that go. But this is a way for me to mitigate it just a little bit. It's like, please stay in this dashboard. Don't go outside of it. You can do this if you want to, but I guess I'll build another data table for you.
Yeah, it is painful. I think if anything can unite us, it's as Tableau developers or any kind of developers, is can you download this to Excel? Like we've all heard that at some point in our careers, and on the inside it makes us cry just a little bit. So
It makes me cry.
How about you, Noelle? You have to make tables, right? Gotcha.
Okay.
For yours.
I just refuse. No, I'm just kidding. I not partially. I'm very when I was on Don's area, I used to vehemently refuse. I hate tables. I think if you want it, Tableau is not the place for it. Maybe as a sub area, but yeah, I think like I've done stuff in the past where there's like an export button, but the actual dashboard itself isn't. For whatever reason it may be, but only for so the dashboard would still be visual, but if they needed the underline, and this is before now where you could get more of that underlying data a little bit easier, like data downloading and stuff. But yeah, I just think it's just like a hack for automating something and not really using the tool. Yeah. But I do try, like if numbers are important, I do try to use like heat maps or something in that effect to make it more visual. Or a dual axis chart, one being the number and one being the visual.
That's okay.
Or like an up and down arrow or whatever they want.
Yeah.
to make it fun.
I've done bar charts behind the numbers and had them had my users say, please take, that's great, please take that off. The issue that we have sometimes at our place is they think that dashboard we make for them is the last thing we're ever going to do for them. So they want to jam everything on there. And then Well has brought up the important point that sometimes our users don't have access to the underlying data. Tableau in the past has been our way of giving that data out to people. So they do that. And so I do a lot of mental gymnastics so that I can sleep at night. And one of them is I asked them why you're downloading it. Why are you downloading it? What are you doing next? So that is a gift. Oh, well, now let me help you answer the question. What's the question you're trying to answer? And go deeper. And then unfortunately I play into their fears by saying, sorry, that's not in my book of work. I can't get it for you. So it really was the last dashboard I could make for them. But it's a gift to continue that exploration and understand why they want the data table and then go from there. So person who's made data tables.
So, Richard, you did mention this where you have a bar behind the scenes. So it's a dual axis where you are highlighting the negative numbers. Are you using a little bit of those pre-attentive attributes of color? You know, gray is the good values, but red is the values where your eyes are really going to be drawn to.
Don't tell Christina I use red and green on my bars because I'll get in a lot of trouble. But yeah,
right. Really try to do that. And I took this from someone who suggested, a highlight table. And I'm like, well, when you have everything colored, is everything important or is nothing important? So you have to be careful with color. So this is just one option. There's so many different ways to optimize, but always with tables, I find that you have to do a little bit of education and just say, yes, tables are great for validation with the numbers. Like Christina mentioned, great design is have your KPI and then have another view where you have your more granular table view. So that's a good data design, but I don't think we'll ever get away from people wanting tables because we're just so trained to be like, does this number match this number? Does this number match this number? Like it's always going to be an ask. So once again, I think it depends. And it also, you know, your client's going to want what they want, but you're going to have to do a little bit of education because we as humans,
in the finance field where they want to look at the 9th decimal place.
Oh my God.
Yeah, definitely.
I would never do finance stuff again. And here I am doing finance. It's great. We're here. I'm here for the users. That's what I'm here. I fight for the users, if I may say that.
So we covered a lot so far in this segment. I just wanted to talk about a little bit of data literacy items. So one of the data literacy questions I have is, what is one thing every business user should understand about data before opening a dashboard? What is one thing every business should understand?
Well, it's going to open up a can of worms.
Wait, who? Oh, is it? Okay.
Oh, it's Christina's dog. Okay.
I think Christina's dog has opinions.
Abby. Abby definitely has opinions. Abby, do you want to come here and talk about data? Maybe she wants to come. Abby. No. She's like, no, I'm not interested. So,
all right. So what do you I love that.
Sorry, what was the question?
Yeah, I mean,
we're all avoiding this.
If it's what do I want people to know about the dashboard is really what question are you trying to answer? That's the whole point of anything that we do. We made it because somebody's trying to answer question or set of questions. So I'd like them to know about that as they're coming in to understand what's going on the dashboard. And hopefully we've made a good visualization that answers that question or set of questions. I say hopefully.
So one thing I would suggest is the things that you want the business to understand, you could probably edit headlines and make it more like use your data storytelling skills. So that way it kind of, spells it out a little bit of what's the business user should understand about this dashboard is like, put in those descriptives when you can. Noelle, what do you think? What is one thing every business user should understand about data before opening a dashboard?
Yeah, I think it's what does the underlying data represent? I think this is something we talk about a lot is, and something I'm very passionate about is the standardization of metrics across dashboards, which I feel we still may be behind at this big bank on. But in my prior role, we were very big on if revenue is shown in one place, it should be the same on another dashboard, and we should know what's included in that formula everywhere. So I feel like it's really understanding like how things are defined for like the underlying data and like what it means to you and your role before using it.
Christina, what is your thoughts? What should business users understand before opening a dashboard?
I think for a lot of them, it's my background with working with a lot of executives is sometimes they just don't know enough about even how to interact with dashboards. A lot of it is just like, I just need to click in this thing and then go to this one place for an answer. And I think it does take a little bit of understanding how executives function with using dashboards. And ultimately, what I've found is that a lot of them don't necessarily need to have a design that allows them to do a lot of different clicks. They want to have one place where they go to where they will understand completely those answers. So making that process as seamless for them as possible to get the things that they need to do to run their business is really helpful. So that helps drive design decisions for myself rather than just using a one size fits all for a lot of folks. So for a lot of business users, they don't have time. And so one of the ways that I educate people is like, hey, do you need to set up a subscription? Do I need to set up an alert for you if this goes up or above or down below a certain threshold? So really understanding how they're using the things and also their comfort level too. And that helps me gauge how to work with that particular person or set of people before I even go into developing stuff.
I love these answers. If you could eliminate one dashboard habit forever, what would it be?
Oof.
Can you download it to Excel?
Yeah, like I think we answered this already.
Dawn,
Next.
blow it up, Dawn.
Next.
Blow it up. I would eliminate dashboards.
Oh,
I would eliminate dashboards. The dashboard is really great after the business has decided this is my strategy. Here's my goals. Am I on my way to the goals? And that's cool. Once you figure that out, I need to know how fast I'm driving to my goals, right and left turns and all that stuff. And that's great. Those are a few things we're monitoring. We do so much dashboarding, I'll say, that we forget this really cool visualization tools can let us make decisions and decide on a strategy and decide on the business. The fundamental problem of management is I have a goal and a target and a strategy I want to do, but it takes 6 months for anything to happen in a corporation or in the world to see that I'm on the way. And there's a whole bunch of external things. So how do we do that? So just to be difficult, as you all know me well enough to know that I like to be, I would get rid of dashboards. I would have a lot more data exploration, which also is a way of kind of getting out of having to pick something I wanted to eliminate from the dashboard. So I've cheated a little bit, but that's the way I think about it sometimes.
Christina, Noelle?
I mean, mine is just like, don't even give exporting an option. But it's a hard question.
Fix one thing in the world. I like that. That's a good thing.
I mean, we talked about color before. I feel like I think would be like having, I don't know. I don't want to say eliminate red, yellow, green, but that's like if I had to choose something else besides exporting to Excel, I feel like that's something that's up there that I'd be passionate about for eliminating.
So the traffic color scheme would disappear suddenly overnight. It's no longer there.
I would say there is a place for storytelling to occur. It should not be in a dashboard. I think that is a common misnomer that is used by a lot of both business people as well as data viz practitioners, saying storytelling should occur in a dashboard. And I say, not so fast. I would say storytelling is great for good old decks. Like I love the Cole Nussbaumer method of sort of taking a line chart, for example, or a trend chart, and then highlighting certain stories out of that, but it doesn't work as well in a dashboard. You can do certain elements of storytelling in a dashboard, but I don't think that dashboards are the end all be all place for storytelling to actually take place. I think dashboards are a great place for what Richard was talking about, is like more data exploration, is like letting people sort of divvy into the data, figuring out like, oh, there's certain like things that I want to look more into, and then using that data to then inform stories, whether that's in a presentation or, you know, something else that you want to provide somebody in an ad hoc, you know, maybe one shot story. I think that it's part of it, but it shouldn't be the end all be all where dashboards are used.
Yeah.
Here, here.
I love that.
Huh.
It's an interesting perspective. I mean, I think like I get your point, because I feel like it's putting a lot on the dashboard. I think it should support a story, right? But not necessarily say that the storytelling happens there. I think of, I don't want to say it, PowerPoint decks of what I used to do back in the day, and we would use a lot of our dashboards to support those stories, but they weren't the story. We would put a metric in there for the dashboard, but the story would be the headline, like what happened with those numbers to be that way. But like you may not know that just from the dashboard, to your point.
Yeah, and thankfully, like, you know, Tableau and even Power BI, because I've used both. I'm a Swiss Army knife. You kind of have to be in this day and age. A lot of them, you can do things where you can leave in little breadcrumbs, or, you know, building it into like a sentence in your descriptions for titles, which honestly is just a good accessible thing to do. But I oftentimes use that, so that way, if I want to embed it in a PowerPoint, it's already baked in, but it's not the full picture of everything that I've used. But usually I tend to use those pieces of like features very methodically when I am building out a dashboard, because again, I want to use Tableau to the extent of what it's really, really good at, which is that EDA component. Exploratory data analysis, I think, things that is very underrated about using Tableau. And oftentimes it's one of the that I keep bringing up to customers, is say like, hey, one of the reasons why I've loved using this is because even when I'm building something, I can help figure out there's a story to be told here. I don't know quite where this is going, but I can float things in and out. And then if I'm starting to notice there's a certain pattern to things, I can then, you know, format it in the way that I want to, then pop that into a slide or into an image or into something that's like more print ready. Like I oftentimes use Figma or, you know, Adobe products to make things look awesome, and adding like little fun little annotations and things. And that's where, you know, that storytelling component can take place. But I don't feel like storytelling needs to oftentimes be at the epicenter of everything that you have in a dashboard. It's only the starting point.
I like the storytelling idea. Dawn, I can't believe we've made it all this way without talking about how the whole world has changed around us and AI is blowing everything up. I wanted to look like this podcast didn't take place in 2016, but it's taking place in 2026. So Christina, that's the way it's happening right now. Now we talk with our data and depending on the tool we're using, it tells us what you're talking about, that exploration. And so people are starting to want to do that and not just have a static dashboard. So I think what you're saying about the storytelling really is starting to see that glimpse of the new world that's coming, or coming here already, blowing up everything. That's that continued ongoing exploration, using maybe chatting with data type of tool or whatever it might be with visualizations. Who knows?
Yeah.
So dashboards help us if we're looking at the basic storytelling framework. What is happening? What is the situation? We as humans have to say, why should we care? Or AI is helping us say why we should care. And then the resolution is also something we humans or AI is saying is like, what should we do about it? So what is happening? Why should we care? What should we do? So the other two, the last two is like where we, the humans, have to come in and help. So, yeah. Any other commentary? I love this. That you guys have went in and discussed this. Yeah, I agree. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I went to a different. Let me go up with another question. Can someone be data literate without knowing SQL or Tableau?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you want me to explain further?
I feel like end the story. We're done.
Right. Just move on. There, it's quick. We got done this section.
Yes. Okay. Cool.
I mean, remember.
We talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's like a mindset of how we think about data that doesn't require a particular tool. Think about Alteryx is very visual for the folks that have used that, and you put the tools there, but still the mindset is I need these two different sets of data and I need to put them together because I want to answer something about both of those and so on. If you can get the mindset, then you can do it. You don't need to use SQL or Tableau. Christina just talked about her Swiss Army knife. She uses other stuff. She just doesn't use Tableau.
Yeah.
Maybe now it's only Tableau, maybe, but before it was.
Yeah, and going further, Richard, like from my past, I worked with a lot of policy makers, policy analysts, program managers in the federal government. A lot of them aren't coming from specifically a like hardcore technical or data background. And a lot of them are, I would say, genuinely curious people, and they know when to ask the hard questions. And I think being able to ask hard questions, being able to question data, also being able to question charts too, like why is the axis like this? This is not, telling me maybe the full story. So being able to just visually understand, maybe questioning what you're seeing in reality, I think that is a big barrier to a lot of folks, is that they don't, and I will say this is a broader trend I'm seeing, is that because people aren't reading as much, and because journals and things aren't necessarily telling the full story of a lot of the data that is out there on the public, just anything going on. When people aren't given access to those things, it makes it harder for people to question what are things that it might be impacting their day to day. And so I think that there's a kind of convergence happening right now where there are people that I would say would probably be fully data literate if they were given the opportunity or the chance to see these things. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of the issues right now at play, and especially in the world of AI, and like whether or not to debunk things that you're seeing in the news as well as in the papers and any digital media that it's out there, is people don't know what to trust. And so the people that have a really critical eye, I think that their viewpoints are being lost in the shuffle because we're not seeing the full picture or the full spectrum of what's out there. But I mean, to close, I do think that there are a lot of very data literate people out there that don't come from a technical background at all. It's just that I think that there's becoming kind of almost like a sort of invisible divide right now. It's like, okay, if you're able to access these things, if you're able to vibe code or whatever it is to get into data, great, that's awesome. But there's also that piece of that critical thinking piece that I think that we're starting to lose a little bit. And I think that's like a larger, like ethical and like more interesting, like more broader conversation. But it is true though. Like there is a lot out there that's saying that, people aren't reading as much and they're not reading as many, papers and things that are out there. So when you're losing that piece, is like, you're losing that whole group of people that are part of the citizenry that aren't really getting to question things. So we all work in a technical world where I think all four of us are very critical about like what we're seeing, even if it's just business data. Like we know how to ask those kinds of questions because it kind of is innate to what we do. But I think that there's a broader conversation going on about what is data literacy and what does that look like to the average person in America now, or just even outside of America.
Mm-hmm. I want to be
So-
on that podcast that Christina's going to have where we talk
Right.
about
Right.
data literacy and being, a citizen of Earth in order to
Earth.
yes.
I know that's like
I'm here
that's
for
the-
Earth.
that's like the sad thing. It's like, wow, okay, I just got really like dark and deep, guys. I didn't need to talk about like the fall of like
Now, I think it's great, though. I think we want to be responsible people and make good decisions for ourselves, our local communities, our bigger communities, the world together. And Christina's pointing out, we got to give everybody the tools. I have my Data to the People shirt on, so I
love it.
I'm wearing it. I really believe it. That's what you're talking about, and I think that would be awesome discussion. Maybe later, Dawn. Right?
I think it might need a follow-up podcast. Like, this has been great discussion. I haven't even gotten to all of the questions that I've had for this, and that's the way it should be. It should be fun. It should be, thinking about all of these topics. So thank you for attending today's session. I really appreciate, the back and forth and the participation. The recording will be out there in techtipsgirl.com. So tell your friends if they didn't get a chance to watch, it'll be out there for replay. But thank you so much to my co-hosts or co-attendees, Christina, Richard, and Noelle. Thanks so much.
Thank you for inviting us. Awesome. It was a lot of fun. Nice to see everybody.
Awesome.